Good evening, everybody. My name's DM Stewart 1981. Alongside me in the booth is Hate 13. We got a race for you tonight here on Randomania 4. We want to thank the Randomania family of networks for providing a place for us to restream the Chaos Comedy Tour Spring 2021 Final Fantasy Randomizer Tournament. Our race tonight is Reesewulf, number 2 seed in the brackets. He has been in the 2020 Duck Derby and the 2020 Lich's Low Limit Table Tournament versus Rock Solid 84, the 31 seed in this round of 32 matchup. Rock Solid has been in the 2020 Duck Derby and the 2020 Lich's Low Limit Table Tournament. We've got an interesting seed. We've got interesting flags for you tonight, and to explain those flags and the party composition, which is all the same, I will pass it over to my partner, Hate. How we doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well this evening. So it's the standard round of 32-64 flags, if you're familiar with the pod flags, but not with these flags. The main difference is that the runners no longer get a free bridge, so you can't walk on over to Provoca. And that there is the lovely little flag called Monster in a Box. What that means is that 40 random treasure chests throughout the world are trapped with B-side encounters. You open that box, you fight the thing, you hope you can survive it and get the loot out of it, or you open the box and you run away because it's something that's going to kill you.
That sounds like a whole lot of fun.
I love it. It's the looting grind. As for the parties, the runners decided to do a draft tonight, and they're off, it looks like. So let's see what they've got out of here.
We've got... Oh, hello! We've got Fade. We've got level 1 Fade.
Well, there's a sweeper. So Reese chose first. He chose the red mage. Rock Solid chose the fighter, the black mage, and then Reese followed up with a black belt.
And we've got Light 3, Ice 2, and Quad X at level 1.
Yeah, so Magic rolled kindly, at least.
Maybe we should explain the class blurses.
Yep. Was just getting to that one. So, excuse me. The fighter has a plus 15 agility blessing and black mage strength growth as his curse. The black belt, as you may have noticed when they were in the white magic shop, was raising his hands because he has access to the level 1 white spells, but he can't wear Cheerios. Not like that matters too much. The red mage has thief luck, so he might actually be able to run away from things, but has a 15 strength penalty, so he's going to start off with arms like wet noodles.
Uh-oh. We've got imps with slow and cremate.
Ooh, Bernie imps. And the final of our 4 classes, the black mage, has improved magic points and -5 luck. Alright, well, looks like Reese at least managed to get away from the imps before the imps burned him to death and has dropped chaos.
But his fighter got dropped. Reese gets a ship and a cube.
Here, have this Rubik's Cube we've held in the family for 2,000 years for some reason.
Heel helm. We've got a heel helmet.
That'll make some good money for... Ooh, and a flame +4. And hey, Rock
and a
Solid found a bridge. He'll actually be able to get around, well, a little easier, except for the fact that he doesn't need the bridge because they've got the ship.
And there were some creeps. They were losers.
I'd be willing to bet that Reese is probably just going to leave the fighter down and just grind up that black belt.
Yeah, that's with black mage strength growth. Yeah, it sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Rock Solid gets his ship and cube.
Probably feels a little bit silly now that he's got the bridge, but, you know, it's a thing.
Light 2 and Bane at level 2.
The spell where you go up to somebody and go, hey, does this rag smell like chloroform to you? And then just watch them fall over.
Life 1. Life 1 and Invis 1 at level 2 white magic.
Yeah, not too grand, but at least a life. It'd be better if it were life 2, but it would also be better if I suddenly came into a large pile of cash.
Well, yeah. And we're headed for Bicky.
It looks like houses are about 950 gold. It's not too
That's
bad.
not bad.
No, it's a much better than seeing them roll way up.
That's better than seeing them roll even. Because isn't vanilla 3,000? We have a canal.
Yeah,
we got a canal.
Don't remember. Yeah. Bicky was holding construction equipment, and you know they beat him up and told him, "Hey, dig us a hole."
And it looks like Rock Solid's gonna check out Matoya's cave.
Yeah, probably gonna go roller chests, see if he finds anything good in there.
Pure potion, flame armor -1, and a monster in a box.
Oh, a couple of fighters. As long as these things didn't roll too aggressively, this will be a good boost to XP for him. And even if they did roll up, well, those 2 fades in a row did some work on it.
And silver armor.
Yeah, silver armor -2. Well, at least they got the XP from the monsters. Because the treasure chest sure as hell wasn't worth it. And
well, silver armor this early isn't bad.
Yeah, but when he's got the flame armor -1 that came from the chest right before it, I'd say that's more worth it. And it looks like Reese is using one of the variable tactics for the monster in a box, where you fill up your inventory with something cheap and crappy, because that way, if you open a box that would have a monster in it, if it's a weapon or armor, it'll tell you, hey, you can't carry whatever this thing is. Then you can choose to drop an item and open the chest to either get it or get the fight for it.
Huh. Would not have thought of that.
Yeah, it's not something that I personally do or am a fan of, just because it's, if you want to find something, you have to take the time to drop an item to get it. And I also tend to indulge my inner loot goblin a bit much, so I just open chests, take the fight, and if I survive, great, I get a thing.
And Rock Solid's gonna take out Bicky and get his canal.
Reese stopped into Elflin for a quick moment, then walked out of it, probably realizing that, wait, I have no cash. I want to kill some things before I have to go back in there and look for spells.
Rock Solid checking for a shop item that is not here. And Warp and Nuke and Ice 3 at level 3 black.
Elflin provides.
Yowza. And a Silver Sword +4 for not all that much.
Only 1k for it, that's actually pretty good. And welcome to the Raiders from RPG Limit Break. Thanks for coming in and getting in on this match. And it looks like Reese is now filling up the rest of his inventory with wooden sticks. Wooden sticks -2. Basically they're broken broomsticks at this point.
Yeah. And actually, Atomic Fire Medic in chat, it's not a double header. We've got a triple header tonight, and 2 options for that third match. Because we've got Cheese versus Thunder, and what is the other one?
Looks like the other one is Krellin versus Psytown.
Ah. Yeah. And
So, yeah.
those are both coming up actually shortly.
Yeah. It's a kind of a busy night tonight. People are trying to get the last little bits of the round of 32-64 knocked out so that they can move on to the round of 16.
And the person playing the winner of this match is set, is it not?
It is. Whoever wins this match is going to have to face our own Lord Fizzlebeef.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
That's a rough one.
And it looks like we got exit at level 4 white, so that's pretty good too.
Exit at level 4 white and nothing of note at in level 4 black.
Well, there was a lock too there. You know, poor man's fast.
Reese is headed for Marsh. Rock Solid has headed to Crescent Lake.
Going to Marsh with not a lot of heal potions, not a lot of pure potions. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out.
Don't know how that'll work for him. Something in Marsh is going to roll nasty.
Oh, it always does.
I am firmly in the Never Marsh camp.
I'd rather take Marsh than Ice, though. Ice just hurts too much.
Opal Gauntlet +3.
And he's just leaving it because whatever, he doesn't care.
Because he's danned his fighter, and that fighter I'm thinking is going to stay danned.
Yeah, that fighter gets to examine the floor very, very carefully tonight.
Silver Helm -2. Meh.
It's a thing, and the old men were holding on to a heavily carved piece of rock. I guess they were just eager to get rid of it because they're old. Carrying things like that hurts.
13k and a monster in a box with 6 waters.
This is a kind of a painful one if he doesn't get turn order here. But it looks like he got lucky and got turn order.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Mage fell to the waters, but really, it all works out in the end because that just pours more XP to the Black Belt.
We have a door glitch. Hey, so we got a So I've got a question about the way that the Monster in a Box flag works.
Yes.
Monster in a Box in an incentivized dungeon with the, of course, as we recall from the pod flags, randomized incentive chest. Can the Monster in a Box be the incentive item?
It cannot be a key item, i.e. one of the items that when you open up, it's all capitalized and it plays a lovely little tune. But it could be the incentive item if the incentive item is the power bonk or the white shirt. So it can technically be blocking a key or an incentive item.
Okay. Okay, it can be an incentive but not a key. Noted.
Correct. So it wouldn't block the bridge because, well, it's a bridge. It's, it may not be counted as an incentive item, but it is a key item still.
All right. Well, and it's a reasonable question to ask.
Yeah, no, it's actually a rather common question that's come up quite a few times in our Discord, which, if you're interested in Final Fantasy Randomizer, I would highly advise to join the Discord. It's, there's a lot of people in there who will help you get started, give you all kinds of information about it. And if you just like watching the races, well, there's a role you can get in there to be notified of whenever there's a race.
And we have seen 4 Monster in a Box fights so far. Oh.
Those tigers
Ouch.
went, you look real tasty.
And the muck has nuke.
Well, that's an unpleasant thing to find, but it could be on a worse monster at least.
Could be a lot worse. Could be on wizards.
No, core. I don't even want to think about that. Hey, 13 minutes in, we have our first bridge boss. Because Rock Solid's going to check the Dwarven Closet. And get disappointed by it.
Hey, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse than nuke mucks. It could be nuke ogres, which I've seen.
Yep. Randomizer gonna rando.
It could be nuke imps with damage poison ogres, which I've seen.
Or ambushy thunder gerwolves. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a painful one. At least these werewolves seem to be tame and not shooting things at them.
That's just horrible. Ooh, 4 rock goal fight.
Well, that might work if they live, but they don't.
They don't.
And Reese is just having a bad time in Marsh. Maybe Reese, you should hopefully maybe pick up some heal pots. Maybe. Please? Looks like Rock Solid's heading on over to Earth to check out the 3 spike tiles on the top floor, probably. It's, not a bad play. It's something I would probably do.
And scorpions hit like a truck too.
All right, let's see what's in the Hall of Giants.
We get Cobra. Now for me, green snakes have always rolled nasty. Ooh, we get Naga Water.
That one looks like it might be a little painful because we know those waters are, well, they hit like trucks. Nagas look like they rolled up pretty well too. Yeah, it took a fade or 2 fades and a lit 3 to get through that pack. I mean, it was good XP, but that's a little too much to take as a grind right now.
Yeah, that will not really work as a grind.
Yeah, he wasn't even taking the risk of walking it out. He's like, nope, I'm going to warp out, and then I'm going to heat a house again. And it looks like he's going at it again, except this time he's opening with a nuke, because, you know what, screw the lightning.
Yeah.
It's not like the waters are weak to lightning, which is the strange thing, because they're the only creatures that look like water beasts that are, well, weak to ice.
And shadow tile.
Man, that's a garbage tile, so it looks like he's going to be probably sticking with the Naga waters, or maybe he'll go check the 3rd one and see if that's of anything useful. This is a good tile for a party grind. I will agree with you on that one, Demon Frog. But man, it's a resource-intensive one, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a rough grind.
I mean, at least he's making more money than he is spending, because, you know, getting the money from each fight, using it, you know, using that for houses.
Wizard staff -1.
Ooh, lobsters. Preview of the Sea Shrine here. Well, less than 230 hit points. That's good. These ones are much squishier than anything else.
Yeah. And Marsh has the TNT. We have Reese. Reese did pick up his key item in Marsh.
Let's see if he can get out with it alive. He did! Huzzah! Go buy some heal pots. And Rock
And
Solid.
we have... Go ahead.
Rock Solid's already up to level 17 now, just off of this party grind. So he's zooming on up there.
Yeah, Rock Solid moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Oh wait, that's the wrong dungeon.
Yeah, I would think moving on up to making his black belt a murder machine. But, you know, potato, potato. .18 minutes, and Reese finally hits the bridge boss.
I kind of like Reese's play a little better than Rock Solid's, as far as when to hit Dwarf Cave.
Yeah, I generally would hit Dwarf Cave. Well, if I didn't have the bridge, I would hit it when I had a key item to get there. So yeah, I do think Reese. I do agree with Reese on this one.
And Crown. I like this.
All right, Rock Solid is... I didn't see what level... Oh, it looks like he's getting ready to kill off his mages.
I don't know that I like that. I don't know that he's found a grind.
He may just be going down to a two-man party, though.
I was gonna say, I don't know that I've found... let me check. Black Mage has improved MP and -5 luck.
Wow, and Reese picking up the herb after beating up old King Astos. I guess the TNT is just a big old bunch of fetch quests.
I don't get why you would... If you're gonna Dan anyone, I would Dan the Red Mage, because the Black Mage gets lots of useful spells early.
Yeah, but the Red Mage has access to the same spells and life at this point.
That's valid.
Of course, I'm also just theory crafting, so I could be horribly, horribly wrong. Probably am, honestly.
I mean, this is why I'm not racing. That and I just suck.
Well, you know. I try not to suck out loud. I can't promise that I won't, but I try not to.
And Reese checking out Elfland. Gonna buy Cure 4.
I was a Cure 4, or couldn't get the Cure 4 because that one is locked.
That one's locked.
And yes, for those people listening who also are, well, not the greatest at this and want to get better or just want to learn how to start running it, we actually have just recently started our Duckling Boot Camp up. It's a 8-week course where we're going to be going over little bits here and there, starting with kind of fundamental things and ending with the Duckling Derby. And the prince gave them an old nasty rat tail. That's kind of a disappointment, Prince.
Yeah, I don't expect that to get used. It is plus 5% XP, though.
It's a true fact there.
So...
Solid, letting that, yep. Just taking out that poor little black mage. Going on down to the two-man party so we can grind it that much faster and just zoom on up.
And Rock Solid is going to get the TNT to start the fetch quest chain to 5% XP.
Rock Solid running into the box of angry cats and doing a little bit better than Reese was because he's 11 or 12 levels higher than Reese was when he ran into them.
Well, yeah. Having several more levels does help.
Yeah.
And the box had 400 gold.
You know, it was a box full of XP at that point.
Scorpions look like lobsters. They hit pretty much like them, too.
And showing my age, now do they stick to magnets, though? I think Rock Solid's probably going to see how well he can do here and maybe take this tile as a grind. I mean, these guys hit like trucks, so that's the thing, but it's a good amount of XP.
Yeah, that's... and a pro ring.
And just kind of shotgun some more potions so he can go back and not have to deal with those guys again. Okay, well, never mind.
He wanted to make sure he got the key item.
And I think it's more that those guys hit real hard and he didn't want to risk it, which I can't blame him. But that was a lot of XP from him.
And Reese heading for ice.
Because Reese apparently hates himself.
Well, at this point, it's ice or ordeals.
I would rather do ordeals than ice. Ice is pain. Especially since I don't think he picked up warp. Or I could be misremembering.
He did. Reese did pick up warp.
Alright, well, ignore the babbling man.
Well, and it's less important with the random chest.
Yeah, but it still means that you can avoid having to fall down that last hole and going through that loop again. And just the less time you can spend in Ice Cave, the better reality is.
Well, that's true. Because, much like with Marsh, you know something in ice is going to roll nasty.
Yep. And it's always something that comes in massive packs. Alright, Rock Solid beating up the old king, getting the herb, gonna go smack the prince around with that. Because it's not like he's, crushing it up or grinding it for him. No, in my headcanon, he's just taking the herb and just beating the prince with it. Wake up! Wake up!
Wake yo sorry backside up.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Rock Solid gets his plus 5% XP.
And Reese gets beaten down by a Jotunheim pack. Small one, but still there.
That's a bit of an ugly, yeah.
It's Ice Cave. Everything is ugly.
You're not wrong. So, have we figured out, are we on A side or B side tiles?
I have not noticed. Given that if that was a spike tile that had the 4 rock goals, that would be a B side because that's a big, dangerous, lots of XP encounter.
That was a spike tile.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a spike tile or a monster in a box. So yeah,
that was the vanilla wizard tile.
Yeah, okay. On that case, we're B side.
So let me take this opportunity and shout out Chanigan, who is both restreaming and tracking this race tonight.
Yeah, big props to Chanigan for pushing the buttons to keep us honest and keep us remembering things, and for putting on the show, and for rolling this seed. Ooh, Trancy Paralisks. They're playing DJ.
Ouch.
Oh, Greg rolled the seed. My bad. For some reason, I was thinking you did.
And Rock Solid is doing what you suggested and taking ordeals.
And Reese is going, you know what? I'm sick of running my face into Ice Cave. I'm going to go do something that hurts less, like stab myself in the knee. Which, honestly, I can't blame him. I despise Ice Cave for that.
And we've got a 2 Saria pack.
And Hydras with
Stone
ice.
Poison.
Ooh, and Hydras have ice too, so the river system is not safe either.
Well, something in the river system is going to roll nasty. We all know this.
Yeah, it's the Hydras this time at least. At least Rock Solid did not leave home without softs. Never leave home without softs.
At least it's not the Caribs.
That we know of.
Because somehow that's always the one that rolls nasty for me.
Rock Solid making generous use of the warp to make sure that he can actually get through the filler maze on ordeals, and does so with one extra warp cast left.
And we've got a Grey Pede, Pro Ring.
Yeah, given that he's already got one pro ring, he doesn't care for a second one right now. Oh,
That's
great.
valid.
Gargoyles have Sleep Touch and Cremate. Gotta love it.
Ice +4, and we've got a key.
The key item is the key, which is entirely sensible. And yeah, as Classic Gamer was pointing it out, yeah, they could be the pirate gargoyles because they're gargoyles.
And the monster in the box is a heal potion. And a Dargon sword.
Yeah, I would probably still go with that ice sword over the dragon sword right now, at least for the red mage. Unless he, lucks into finding a Mosmune somewhere.
Yeah, I always like the Mazamoon.
Oh, Rock Solid actually equipping the Pro Ring, which, I mean, it'll give him the death protection, but it's going to tank that guy, or that Black Belt's absorb down to, well, not much. I think it's Vanilla Pro Ring, I think is like 1 or 2, maybe.
Something like that.
And it looks like he's going back for those Sarias.
Is Saria really a good grind?
It's a viable grind. It's not the best, but it's viable. Like, I've seen worse. I've done worse.
I mean, yes. Oh.
Well, it's
they
good
did
thing
have
he's
stone poison.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, okay, the Pro Ring, I don't think that's going to protect against that, because that's not Death Elemental, that's Poison. Rock Solid probably heading on back towards the Inner Sea, gonna go loot the various treasuries about the world. And as Moneymarks is pointing out in chat, Aegis Shield would protect them, yes, but no one can wear the Aegis Shield at this point. Nor have they found one, I believe.
They have not found one, and you're right. No, neither of them can wear it.
The only one that could wear it is Dead Level 1 after promotion, and I don't think they're going to promote, and the Dead part is a problem. I'm kind of surprised that Rock Solid stopped off near Northwest Castle and didn't bother going in to check the spike tiles and loot that treasury too. First chest finds the Royals have been keeping a fairy in a bottle locked in their closet because they're just kind of rude, I guess? I don't know. But making good use of the distant save that he made so he could just reset right back out and head to Onrak. That is a good solid move out of Rock Solid.
And yeah, that is a good solid move out of Rock Solid.
Looks like he's heading on over to check and see if Underhill has anything hiding away in the caravan, because they have yet to find the vendor item yet. And Reese is getting eaten by those Gurpedes. This is not a pleasant thing to see.
And
oh, and the Gurpedes have sleep touch too. Fun.
Oh boy. No shop item in caravan.
Underhill, nothing. Wah. Popping into Onrek and finding a $34,000 floater. $34,000 and a little bit of time, and you can have a brand new Sky Car.
Do you even get the floater though? Well, it is 5%. It is plus 5% XP.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you haven't done a grind yet.
You get the floater because, well, I would get the floater because it gets you off of the sea. It gives you much quicker ability to get around. So yeah, I would get the floater. Reese finding the key and just like, I'm out of this place.
Oh, and we don't know. Lefane could be required.
Yeah, Lufane or Gaia could potentially be required. Alright, Reese bringing back Berserker, and, well... Alright, did have a cabin, good, or did have a house, so getting Berserker back up and fully healed, getting all the spell charges back. Rock Solid, finding a couple of random mud goals hiding out in the waterfall, because, you know, I guess that's their natural environment. Keeps their muddy skin soft and supple, so they don't dry out. Nothing in this cave really seems to be putting up much of a problem for Rock Solid at this point, which I have no surprise about. I mean, he's got his black belt up to level 22, so it's at least at 6 hits right now.
And that's the Nightmare Evil Man trap spike tile in Waterfall. Very interesting.
Except for it looks like the evil men have sleep touch, which makes it not such a great grind tile, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's... Get a silver bracelet.
Brocade plus 3, which you check and see, hey, wait, do you have a shield? No? Looked like he tried to equip the silver Cheerio and then remembered, oh wait, black belts get no Cheerio. Looks like he found some gas Ds in a box as well. This is a potentially painful box if he doesn't take care of them real quick. Well, Red Mage is getting some fat XP.
Maybe. Yes. Red Mage is getting 13 grand.
All for an Iron -3. I mean, that's a big fat pile of XP at least, but oof. At least he had, you know, life and some heals, and then was just able to shotgun potions.
And Robot the rod.
Yep, Robot gave us a crowbar.
To be fair, that is super green of him.
You know, just, you know, took a piece of his shoulder and was like, here, you can use this. I don't know why, but I'm going to give it to you. It looks like Rock Solid is actually taking this grind tile. Probably going to take it until he's out of spell charges, is my guess.
That sounds about right.
It looks like we got a play from Reese to actually come in and check the Northwest Castle Armory and see what the spike tiles are.
We've got a Wyvern spike tile. That might not be bad.
Muting Wyverns, it's a little bit annoying, but it's not anything fatal. Unless you're trying to down them with spells, which he was that round.
Was that a black shirt?
No, that was some money and a heal potion. And then a disappointing secondary spike tile. Looks like Rock Solid is probably heading on over to the desert to turn in his, turn in his floater and get his brand new sky car. Well, brand new to him. Used, it's old, it's been buried in the sand for a couple of thousand years. Hopefully it'll still run.
And Reese is checking the Dwarf Cave Armory.
Massa plus
Have a
3.
Massa plus 3.
That's a quick drop whatever you want and take that, because, ooh, yeah.
Oh.
And an Ice Sword plus 4. You get that for your red mage.
Oh my.
And at 39 minutes and 50-something seconds, we have Rock Solid in the air. And having done at least part of his grind, has enough money to just go, I'm going to buy a bunch of houses now, thanks. I don't want to have to worry about those anymore. Probably heading on over to check the old man in the cave, see what he's got.
And Sarda's going to give us... That is always my first check when I get the airship.
Yeah,
He's
Sarda
giving adamant.
Yeah, it gives us a big old shiny rock that's not meant for the not meant for the Titan to eat, which kind of makes me sad because I always get a giggle whenever Sarda gives you the ruby. Because yes, I am a horrible person.
And adamant gives to Oxy Ale.
So, double dip of Onrak continent, not entirely required if you can find where the ruby's hiding at. And Rock Solid coming down to loot the Dwarven Armory, and he's going to find his Massa here real quick-like.
And let's think. What does Rock Solid actually still need to be in go mode?
Item-wise, he needs the loot and the chime. He probably would like a ribbon for his red mage, and he needs to get that black belt up.
So for item go mode, really, he needs a chime and a loot.
Pretty much, yep. And stocking up on his heal potions, I'm guessing. Reese, what are you doing back down here? Did you... Oh, he apparently reset out of it or got jumped by something. That's a shame.
Spike tile. Or, not spike tile, monster in a box.
Spike chest, got it.
Spike chest, sea snakes. Rock Solid gets a bottle as the Corneria item.
Yeah, it came back for the bottle because he checked it before and was like, I can't do anything with this. I don't have a floater. And so he noped out of it. I kind of agree with that play, actually. You know, you don't need it. You can't do anything with it. Yeah, so just come back for it later.
I slightly disagree with that play, only because key item, 5% experience.
Yeah, but
if you find a party grind before you find a floater, that's 5% experience.
Ooh, That's a grind. And the thing was, is he did that right before he did that reset back to where he... So I can understand why he did that. And Rock Solid apparently foregoing the stake tonight. We're gonna have to ask him if he has a fever or something, because that's a little odd to not to just skip over that one. He also didn't check the armory spike tile. And Reese is making his way back to ice to try and ram his head through that wall again. Hopefully he'll have better luck this time.
Well, if ice is the chime, then if ice is the chime, he looks like a genius.
At least he's got a bit more levels on him now, so hopefully around here.
Well, I'll rephrase. If ice is chime or loot, or leads to chime or loot, then that looks like a great play.
And Moneyworks, to answer your question in chat, yes, he is level 25, because shortly after you asked that question, Rock Solid apparently did us a solid and just held it on the menu screen so we could see his levels. Ooh, and somewhere along the line he lost his red mage, so he's just going to go in and punch carry down. Or try to punch carry down.
Well, that's a perfectly valid strat with carry.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad thing to see coming out first round, though. That's slow. Yeah, he hit once for 33 damage. I think this is not going to go well for him, unfortunately. Well, one crit for 241. That's pretty good there, though. He's going to need a couple more of those if he wants to get through this, though. Yeah, down he goes. That's a shame. That slow starting out the gate was not pleasant. Rock Solid, it looks like he is... Okay, he is deciding to go back in. But yes, Rock, go for the steak. Go for the steak. Tasty, tasty steak.
I was gonna say, I think he's gonna hit that steak grind.
Yep.
And he is going to Dan that red mage.
Yep, get that red mage naked and then just let everything's going. Sweet Christmas. That right there, what you saw on Reese's screen, is the thing of beauty that comes from having improved MP. He's level 16, has 7 charges in all levels at this point. I mean, yes, he only has spells in the first 4 of them. And Reese pulls the crystal out of the ice cave. Thank you for letting us know about that, Chanigan. I apologize for the silence there. I had something come up in meat space that needed to be taken care of. Oh, and those wyverns have glance. That's a displeasing thing to see as well. Suddenly the steak grind looks a bit less appealing. Check the Agama floor. Maybe you'll find something good there.
Check Agama. Maybe it's 3-eye grind.
One can hope. Alright, Reese going to turn in the crystal, probably hoping it's the floater. We know that it's not, but let's see what she gives. She gives the chime, so ice will be required.
That's a really good pickup for Reese. Now, if you're Reese,
tiles, just some gray worms. That's no good.
Now, if you're Reese, do you go sky, sky, sky? It looks like he is.
You got the chime in the cube. May as well make that dive. That's always a good amount of XP you can get out of there. Also, in my experience, Sky provides. Most of the time, if I don't have a ribbon, I'll go into Sky and I'll come out with at least one. Looks like Reese is like, no, I'm not going to deal with this. And Rock Solid finding that the second spike tile in that room is nothing but disappointment.
It's a decent grind if you were low level. And we've got Catman. Catman with first strike. What did that end up looking like?
I did not see that. Yeah, it looked like a reset, probably.
Yeah. And Pro Ring.
Stupid mute touch whiz ogres. Alright, let's see how you do now with at least another person in the party. Hopefully you won't get silent, or you won't get slowed immediately this time. Nuke for 276, fade for 101, carry punches for 202 in return. Another nuke coming out, and you're out of fades, just smacker. And Reese finds a ribbon. As I said, Sky provides. And Rock Solid drops carry, lighting his first orb at the 50-minute mark. Rock Solid avoiding Ice Cave, which is, you know, understandable because never ice. Unfortunately, we know, having the, God's Eye view, that this will not do well for him. Hey, there's pro rings for sales and gold -2s, but it's -2, so it's okay, but it's not as good as it could be.
And we have not checked Gaia. We have not checked Lefane yet.
He hasn't even had the slab translated yet. I doubt he's going to be checking Lefane right now.
Well, Rock Solid is checking Gaia.
Yep, let's see what the fairy pulls out of the bottom of the lake.
And the fairy, fairy pulls the loot, so...
Alright, so you're going to have to buy that floater. Rock.
So we are in no mode.
Yep. Looks like Reese running back in to go grab that ribbon after he got eaten by something horrible in the sky. And Retro Gaming, to answer your question, the chime came from the crystal, which came from Ice Cave. I don't recall him getting the slab translated, but I could have missed that, I'm not gonna lie. Does he get Lupa Lupa'd? Nope, he does not get Lupa Lupa. Oh, and they just have the ruby. That's a pain in the butt to see.
But it is 5% XP.
Nah, he reset out of it because it's just not worth the time to walk that thing back. He is looking like he's going to go dive, dive C, hope that he finds the chime in there. He is probably just going to be disappointed when he pulls out the power bonk because, well, we know that the crystal is in Ice Cave. That leads to the chime. So yeah, the power bonk or the white shirt could be hiding in here. And that means Sky is going to have the other one of those two.
And that's going to make things... That may make things interesting for Reese, because
yeah, he's
Oxiel was where again?
Let me see.
Oxiel was Smith, was Adamant.
Yes, that's what it was. And Adamant came from, excuse me, came from Sarda, which, because the Ruby is hiding in the Fane, you're gonna need the floater to get to Sarda. So yeah, it's gonna be a double dip of the Onrak continent at least.
Yep. To answer Money Mercs in chat, we don't know if it's in Mermaids. It might be in Mermaids. It could be in any chest that has an item in Sea Shrine.
Yep. And it's either going to be the Power Bonk or the White Shirt. Whichever one isn't in Sea is in Sky.
And Rock Solid is doing the Kraken side first. We have a Dragon Armor.
And no one to wear it, so he's just
no one to wear it
in the chest.
And an Aegis Shield.
Aegis Shield to leave in the chest, and more money to just take up. Huh, he is picking up that Aegis Shield and that Dragon Armor. I'm wondering if he is considering picking up that well, the knight or the fighter who has been so engrossed in inspecting the floor.
That may be... Ooh, Chimera with Trance.
Right, so the Chimeras are also playing at being house DJs.
And Ice 2. Rock Solid on the Sharknado floor.
Ooh, finding some blue
D's.
That hit pretty hard. That's ouch. That's a big pile of ouch.
And a Zombie D monster in a box.
And Reese getting eaten out of Sky again by the Chimeras this time. And yes, as Demon Frog says, they hit like trucks packed with other much heavier trucks.
Well, that's an unpleasant encounter tile.
Not particularly. I mean, the worst part of it is going to be the saber-toothed tiger and the Medusas. As long as they don't have anything, they're going to go down real quick.
Well, it's just because there's so many of them.
Yeah, but that's what AoE spells are for.
Well, it's so many of them you can get turn ordered.
And Kuribe spike tile. That's a thing. And to answer your question, Demon Frog, we have no eyes on fast. That is an ugly box of monsters. Here's hoping that that wasn't the power bonk of the White Shirt.
We do have eyes on fast. We do have eyes on fast. It was in Melmond.
Okay. I just didn't remember checking that or seeing that because, well, I don't remember things. Good man, Rock Solid going back to beat up the Argoyles to check and see what they're hiding because, well, as I mentioned, it could potentially actually be the incentivized item for this treasure, or for this dungeon. And it wasn't. It was just a Falcon, or Falchion +4. That's disappointing to see.
I'm not sure if without exit, I like the play of going down to Kraken first.
Oh, he's going down to Kraken to kill Kraken. Like, there is no way one of those two is going to walk out, or is not going to walk out of here. Well, Kraken wouldn't walk out anyway, but you know, one of those. Either Rock Solid's party or Kraken will die here.
Well, no, the reason I say I don't know if I like the play of going down to Kraken first is that, well, Rock Solid doesn't know that the chime is, that you get to the chime from ice.
Yeah, but this is the generally more logical play because you're going to have to go down this side anyways. So if you have to go down this side, just go down, check the chests on, as you go down, kill Kraken, and if you have found it on Kraken's side, great. If not, well, you still got to kill Kraken, so you don't have to go back down that side.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Just to me, there are so many chests on mermaids. There's more than half of the chests, if I recall correctly, going up toward mermaids.
Yeah, mermaids is a pretty dense floor for chests, but since you're going to have to come back in and kill Kraken anyways, well, better check Kraken's side first.
But again, this is why I don't race.
I only started picking that up from other more experienced racers in the community.
And since Rock Solid has not found the item in C, which we know is either going to be White Shirt or Power Bonk.
Yeah, he's gonna come back in after he beats Kraken into a small pulp, or hopefully beats Kraken into a pulp. And Rock Solid bringing up the 2 ablative meat shields.
Well, and that's, yeah, you're gonna see that.
Yeah. Kraken's gonna do Kraken things. He wants to make sure there's at least something there. Oh, and hey, his Black Mage actually has fast. All right.
And we've got an eye fight on Reese's side.
And Kraken didn't body somebody on the first round. That's a shock.
Almost did.
Nah. His fighter was left at 1 after he got rezzed.
Ah.
Wow. And taking down Kraken. That was a much softer Kraken than I was expecting to see, honestly. And yeah, somehow that fighter lived. You know, Rock Solid's gonna have to go through the process of killing that fighter off again, probably.
So, to paraphrase the doctor, just this once, everybody lives.
Reese finding an X-Cal, -4.
Ew.
Yeah, he just was like, nah, I'm just walking away from that. Ooh, and finding some metal slimes. That'll be some good XP if he gets the casts off.
And they did not roll that high for health.
Lucky encounter. It's a good thing about wandering around. Ooh, ribbon for Rock Solid on TFC floor. Putting both our runners at a ribbon apiece.
Always love seeing that eye fight.
Yep.
Hey, did anyone check the Temple of Fiends spike tiles?
No, they have not checked those yet.
Do you think it might be worth checking those for a potential third eye grind?
Not while you have other stuff to check still. I mean, we know that there doesn't seem to be any good spike tiles in Sky that we've seen yet, but the runners don't. Reese might be thinking there might be something else in C. Rock Solid could be looking for for a better tile, well, anywhere else. And it looks like Rock Solid may actually be keeping his Black Mage alive, given that he actually did put the ribbon on it and put the Black Mage at the back. There's the Power Bonk. Hopefully he remembers that that's the one, that that's the incentive item, and that it is time to get out of this dungeon.
Well, Reese might be just going up to take care of Tiamat.
Yeah, well, he's also going to be checking the extra chests here because I don't recall seeing Reese pull the white shirt yet. Alright, Rock Solid headed north, so I'm wondering where he's heading to. I mean, he's got, you know, looks like he's heading to ice. I'm very glad for that because I just realized that he's already got all the other checks done. Sometimes I are smart.
Well, aren't we all?
I'm just going to continue trying to lick my elbow here for a minute. And Reese hoping for turn order and didn't quite get it on those golems. Once again, though, his red mage gets a bunch of XP. He gets to flex those last 2 level 2 spells, unfortunately. Well, that's a large pack of things that you probably don't want to have to deal with, but he's going to try to do so anyways. Really hope he gets through this and has more heal potions. I really hope he has more heal potions. Nine more heal potions, unfortunately. He's running low on them. This is a risky play at this point. I'm not sure if I would... Oh, man. You hate to see it at this point because it's going to be a painful situation for him. And Rock Solid just found that crystal. It looks like he's just checking the spike tiles because he knows he should probably try and get that black mage up a little bit more. Or
There's a 2-eye grind.
Well, that one came out of a chest, so that's at least
Fair.
an XP. But yeah, not so much grind. Yeah, Rock Solid not even bothering to check any chests. He's just like, alright, check the spike tile. This is crap. Nope, I'm out. Well, Reese finding the defense sword. That'll be a useful thing at least. And there's the white shirt. Of course, it's the absolute last chest. Oh, and it's hiding behind some monsters. No, Rock Solid, you can't land in the cave mouth. As much as you want to try and crush Montoya's cave with the airship, you can't. Alright, and with that, Rock Solid has got his chime. Rock Solid is now in item go mode. I do not expect to see him opening many, if any, time. What? Oh, he's checking up here for a potential grind to see if he can find some stakes or something. Unfortunately, he just finds some angry ankylosaurus. Reese looks like he's trying to run out. Hopefully he makes it, because this is... Oh, and he just resigned himself to his fate and was like, I can't make this, and just pops out. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. Well, at least Reese has the knowledge of where things are and what it is, so he can potentially go in, grab what he wants to grab, and either get out or take out Tiamat. One of the two. And hey, the runners are high-fiving on Sky 2 right now. You know, it's kind of a shame that if he's actually keeping that fighter up, that he actually didn't check less than, greater than, because then he could have at least found that Aegis shield and that dragon armor. But then he'd still have to promote, so never mind. Four red Ds, this isn't that bad. It'd be good for a full party grind, potentially. Oh yeah, they've got less than 300 hit points. That's not bad for a full party grind. Oh, even if you want to, just drop, if you can get your other party members down, just go down to the singles and just maul these things for mass amounts of XP. I mean, yeah, they've got gaze, but, you know, it's just gaze. It'll just paralyze you. And Rock Solid looks like he's just continuing with the red Ds here, because I'm not sure if he's actively trying to get the fighter killed or not, but either way, this is still good XP for the whole party. Because these things are about as solid as wet tissue paper. Nuke, punch, slash, stab, nuke, nuke. Yeah. This looks like a pretty standard fight, or standard setup for this grind. He's going to be... I'm wondering if he's just going to be taking the black belt up to 32, or if he is going to take him any further. Whereas Reese has started his climb back up Sky Tower again and is not bothering to faff about picking up anything else, because he knows that he's got some dangerous things in here. Alright, fighter dead. Rock Solid feels like he can move along now. Fighter is dead, his black belt is 32. He's just gonna move on up. It looked like he equipped the Masa on the fighter for some reason? That or I was hallucinating? Wow, Rock Solid not even going for those greed chests, which it's a bit of a shame because we know that the defense is in there as well as the white shirt, but honestly, he's in go mode. He does not care right now. And yeah, Moneyworks, I agree with you on that. Reese has got to be feeling the pressure. It's, you know, an hour and 11 minutes in. He's had multiple wipes. He's level 16 on his black belt, and he hasn't even gotten any orbs lit. But let's see if we get a robot chicken overlord showing up on the Bridge of Destiny. Oh, and heirs have trance too. Well, that's the third trance we're seeing here. It's quite an unpleasant set. At least they haven't done anything else too rude aside from trance yet. And a swing and a miss. We get no robot chicken on Rock Solid side, but we do get it at Tiamat. Looks like we're getting a nuke, a fast punch. Blaze out of Tiamat. That's kind of a hurty thing to see. 7 hits for 200 and something points of damage. A nuke for 111, and of course, because turn order happens, fast goes last. Punch, nuke, nuke. And Tiamat goes, oh yeah, I can speed myself up too. 13 hits for 366. Nuke for 169. Punch, nuke, nuke. Tiamat has successfully had a microwave thrown at her, well, one of her heads, and has fallen. That is Rock Solid's third orb lit at 1 hour and 13 minutes. looking like he might actually try bringing that fighter back up, given that he's equipping all of that miscellaneous stuff on it, and the fighter is currently holding the Masa. I'm wondering if he's planning on bringing it up just as a meat shield, or if he's going to use it for anything. By the way, it's still a bit curious to see. Yeah, money works. If you want to jump in on comms at some point, just check in the Discord. There's generally a place to, or generally a call for people needed if there's going to be matches that need to be filled each night. Put up by Danny or Caleb or one of the other wonderful administrators of the community. Reese on the Bridge of Destiny. As much as I kind of want to see a robot overlord, I kind of don't want that to happen to Reese because he's had a real rough go of things right now, and I think a war mech would not do pleasant things to him. He's not quite powered up enough to be able to drop it, I think. Unless it rolled real low, which could happen. Rock Solid pulling into Earth Cave. Probably just going to storm on through here and punch a carpet into dust.
And Rock Solid headed straight down for Zombie and then Lich. We know that there's nothing really on the first floor that would interest us.
Yeah, at least loot-wise and trap-wise. Well, except for the, potential party grind, but I think Rock Solid's done with those. Hey, Reese pulling out the Bane, hitting Tiamat with some smoke and killing off his first fiend at 1 hour 15. And unfortunately, it looks like Reese is out of save items, so he's gonna, hope that nothing happens to him in the desert at this point. And that's what I'm hoping as well.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Yeah, as much as I get, some level of enjoyment out of watching the runners suffer, I don't like watching it too much. It makes me feel bad. Because whilst I am a horrible person, I still do, feel empathic towards it because I've seen myself have some horrible, horrible runs like that too. Rock Solid apparently annoyed with that group of undead and just nuking them all because they got in his way.
That's one way to deal with them.
Oh, and this would explain why he was doing that, because apparently they have crack, which that's not a pleasant thing to see. I mean, Ribbon protected the Black Mage at least, and, well, the Black Belt is not quite at Ribbon level, but is pretty well enough on his magic defense. So yeah, that would explain why he killed them with such prejudice that time.
Well, yeah.
And this looks like a spike kill again, though, because Gur, Imps, and Werewolves, I'm gonna toss a nuke!
Reese has got to be feeling at least a little bit of pressure. With only one orb lit.
Yep, and he hasn't got the Oxyale yet, and he has turned in the TNT. I mean, at this point, Science should be screaming at him to go to on-rack. As I don't... yeah, he's got the incentive item out of Marsh, which was, I think, the chest, or the ship, not the chest. No, the ship came from the king. I got the thing out of Mars. I'm pretty sure about that. He's gotten the thing out of ice. He can't get anything out of Earth because that's not incentivized. Neither is Volcano.
Marsh was TNT, which led to Crown, which led to Herb, which led to Tail. And they've both gotten it.
Yeah, thank you. Couldn't remember that. Looks like Reese has realized that his only place left to go is on rack, and hopefully he will check the store before checking Waterfall, because he needs some save items. And given that he's heading towards Underhill first, he'll probably stop on rack and, you know, check that store first.
And Rock Solid looking at the... Rock Solid is now looking for a grind tile.
And all he's going to find here is disappointment, unfortunately. Looks like Rock Solid has said, you know what? I'm 32, got fast, got some good stuff going on. I can probably take Topher, but I'm going to go check those other spike tiles first, I guess.
Yeah, I like this play because those two, because one of these could be a third eye grind.
Or a Muck of Doom grind.
Yeah.
I can entirely understand him noping out of that.
Where is that good grind tile gonna be then?
Somewhere that they didn't look, apparently, unfortunately. I mean, there was the 4 rock golems in a marsh. That would have been kind of a nice one, especially now that he's higher level and not so flimsy. But yeah, at 1 hour 21 minutes, we have Rock Solid entering Topher for the first dive. Let's see what he does here. Finds a Jotunheim pack and immediately goes, nope, 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 nope.
He at least says, nope, not this. We've got 4 Gasties.
And he's going, no, I don't want to. I'm done trying to get XP. I'm on an XP diet. Please leave me alone. Smart move, swapping the ribbon back over to his red mage. Well, 3 ghosts on a spike tile. That's annoying. Ah, good. Rock Solid verifies the seed.
And a monster in a box.
Monster in a box gets first attack. Half the monsters run away. Kind of love to see it.
Don't necessarily like the resource usage, though.
It was middling at best.
Rock Solid heading down to...
He's almost to the earth floor. He's just got to get through this little hallway.
Rock Solid is headed... another worm fight.
I bet these weren't on a tile anywhere that we found. That would have been useful.
Rock Solid on earth floor.
Grabbing up the fist for that carpet, getting ready to punch it out again. Rock Solid is currently at 32 with his black belt, and I don't know what else with the rest of his team. Alright, Reese has gotten his rod from the robot, and I didn't notice if he stopped in by on. Yeah, it looks like he did because he has his floater as well. Wow, Rock Solid actually giving Lich 1 a little bit of respect and using some nukes on him as opposed to just attack. This is a surprising thing. But Lich 2 does about as much as a speed bump normally does and is dropped onto the fire floor.
As I recall, Carry 1 hit pretty decently.
Yeah, also because he got down there after an unlucky set and had just his black belt, who immediately got slowed.
There is that.
Making use of those generous heal 3 charges and getting ready to step up to Carry 2, who, sometimes deserves a little bit of respect because she can hit pretty hard if you're really unlucky. Let's see what happens. Well, Carry 2 comes out and just bodies that red mage because she's taking a cue from Kraken 2, apparently.
Ow.
Very much ow, and since there's no promotion, that's his life caster. He's kind of SOL here. I mean, at least he still has his fast caster up, so this run isn't dead.
I was going to say, do you nope out at this point, or do you keep going?
I would keep going, even if only to get the information out of it. Because, if you find out that Kraken 2 isn't as punchy, then you know that you don't have to worry about using, well, he doesn't have White Shirt or Invis 2 charges, so never mind. But, if you know that Kraken 2 isn't punchy, then you can at least prepare for it on the spell-wise side. And if you find out that Tia 2 has, stone poison, damage poison, anything bad like that, well, you can try and prepare for things. And if you get lucky, you can just get through them.
That's a valid strategy.
Tossing the ablative meat shield up front and hoping, power bonking and getting fasted. Oh, of course it doesn't. Ooh, down goes that. Ouch. Yeah, okay. That's a point where you go, nope, I can't continue on here. Also, those stupid bats. They're not quite as bad as the Mohawk guy in Provoca, but man, they get annoying when they get in your way.
Meanwhile, Reese is making the dive down through Earth.
And yeah, Classic Gamer, agree with you on that. Kraken 2 is going to do Kraken 2 things. And his black belt is 32.
Yeah, Kraken 2 is going to do Kraken 2 things.
And in this case, Carry 2 also did Kraken 2 things, because, why not? Dusk Plume, if you gave a TOF bat a Mohawk, like the guy from Provoca, it would just follow you and block your every move in Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you would try and turn around and it would be there. It would keep you locked on a square. Until we find the way to guillotine those bats. I should not have said that, because if any of the devs listen to this, that could totally be a troll flag for them to put onto. Oh god, what have I done? I spoke it, I brought it into existence. Oh well.
Well, aren't you the person that came up with, what is it, all imps?
Oops, all imps. Yeah, one of my more chaotic flag sets had that, and our wonderful Deb Wildham looked at it and went, "Oh, this is what combination causes that." So yeah, that was a thing.
Well, as long as the imps don't roll with something like nuke, stone poison, probably fine.
Yeah, another member of our community, Caleb, has a 3-hour VOD of him trying to get through something where he did that, and he got imps with Death Touch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So speaking of the community again, because it's been a while since I've plugged that, come join us on the Discord if you're interested in this. It's a fun community. I mean, we're a bunch of silly people overall, and it's, overall been very welcoming to me. I only joined a couple of months ago, and already I'm up here babbling, making silly things happen. So yeah, come join us. It's a good place, and we're willing to teach you about the game too if you want.
And let's watch Carrie 2 do Kraken 2 things.
Hopefully not. Well, kind of did. At least it took out the black mage as opposed to the red mage, so black mage can just be brought back up. Also, for those on Twitch, go ahead and give our runners a follow as well. They have been putting in a good run for us, keeping it up, persisting through adversity in some instances. But yeah, they're both putting on a good show for us, so go toss them a run. It's toss them a follow, not a run. I can English, I swear.
Toss a follow to our runners. Also, you should give my partner in the booth, Hate, a follow. He does a lot of fun stuff.
Don't forget about, don't forget about, DM Stewart 1981 and that. And of course, Chanigan, who is the wonderful person behind the scenes, pushing the buttons and keeping the stream showing up for us. And Rock Solid looks like is keeping Kraken 2 in check right now.
Okay.
Ooh. And of course, as I say that, Kraken 2 busts out with a low roll nuclear. Nuclear nonetheless, though.
Yeah, nuclear nonetheless.
And the ablative meat shield doing its job. And with that, Kraken 2 is downed on to Tia 2. And now that Reese has picked up that floater on the airship, he is making much quicker progress along through things, and has beaten up the carpet, and is heading on into the volcano.
And finds a stake tile.
Yep, I don't think he's seen the horrible side of the stake tile, which is the wyverns, but hopefully he won't have to. And Roxel pulling into Tia. Punch coming out first because Tornador, of course, hitting for 188. Swinging at that Masa, 2 hits for 30 because the fighter's still kind of a small one. And of course,
only got Black Mage strength growth.
Yeah, and of course, Fast came out last. Ooh, Zap coming out and sending the fighter off to the 4th dimension and the black belt off to the 4th dimension. Time for the Magic Slingers to see if they can get through this. Just nuke, nuke, nuke all day long. And they did, because apparently Tia did not have a whole lot of hit points there. That is a lucky roll for him. Whew. Very much so. I was a little bit clenched in that moment. But with that, it's time to shotgun some potions, because it's chaos time. Well, it's a good thing he swapped and put that black belt up front rather than leaving the the black mage up front, because there was that random encounter, because there's always that random encounter.
Well, yeah. You know we're going to see the random encounter.
Yep. And Chaos is coming up here very soon after Rock Solid finishes swapping about his equipment. Putting that ribbon on the fighter. Curious move, but whatever. It'll keep him alive if anything happens. And Chaos pulled at 134. We have a fight. We have a fast. We have a nuke. And we have some power bonking. Fighter taking the first hit from Chaos. 2 hits for 254, not too bad. Swinging back at Chaos, 2 hits for 2 damage because he's a baby fighter. Nuke coming out. Nuking for 200, not too shabby. Fast has gone off. We've got the nuke out. 2 hits for 135 out of that Masa. Ink coming out. Not really think it matters. Ooh, dodgy Chaos. 1 hit for 1 damage out of that black belt.
That's dodgy and absorby Chaos.
Well, he only power bonked once, so that's kind of understandable. Tossing some invis stacks out on the monk black belt. And ablative meat shield doing what it's supposed to do and taking the hit. Ooh, and looks like there might be some technical issues on Reese's side because the screen just went black, but...
And 6 for 357.
That's a bit better. Locking him down some more. Let's get that Chaos to stop dodging as much. Quit your dancing and fight. 5 hits for 209. Lock 2 goes off, or second lock goes off. 6 hits for 309, getting a little bit better. Red Mage goes down in a pile of glory. Or is that a pile of goriness? Either way. Nuke for 195. Punch from Chaos for 82. 9 hits for 599 damage. That's a bit better. 7 hits, 558, and Chaos is terminated. Get your GGs out in chat for Rock Solid.
At 135.56.
And we have been joined in the booth by a Rock Solid, so GG Rock Solid.
Thank you very much. GGs.
Yeah, that was a heck of a good race for you, I have to say. You seemed to execute things pretty clearly. You didn't run into as many wipes as could have happened.
Thanks. I did make some mistakes that I thought did put me behind. I think the biggest one might have been I tried to go into Volcano and either catch a grind and or kill carry early, and I sort of mucked it all up. I got unlucky. Something killed my red mage halfway down, and I ended up trying to man mode it with the black belt. Didn't work out. Then I tried to come back and take the grind, and it turns out that the wyverns have like glance or something. So I felt like that lost me a ton of time, and I really thought I was behind.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. You went in there with Carrie, you had the black belt with the Masa swing in, and the first thing she does is slow.
Yeah, that was the other thing that happened. Like the only thing that could have slowed me down was slow, and there it was, first spell, first action.
Yeah, but overall, I think that was a pretty well-run seed. Oh, looks like we got Reese back up, and Reese is on that steak and wings grind that was in Volcano. Doesn't look like he's run into the glance from the wyverns quite yet, thankfully enough.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Another grind I tried to take was kind of a similar story. In the Northwest Castle, there was something that had stone touch, and I thought that I could protect against it with a pro ring, so I finished up ordeals and then came back in to try and take the fight, and then I realized, oh yeah, pro rings don't protect against stone.
Yeah, that was the Sorias in ordeals. Yeah, we saw that and I was like, wait, no, that's not the right thing. But yeah, at least it was, not much of a loss when you remembered that it doesn't work against it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I kept seeing all these great grinds. Like, I think I also saw Iron Goal somewhere, and I know Reese is he's a great player and he is a black belt guy. So I'm thinking, if anyone knows how to just make it work so that they could just magically be at the right point when they're in Ice Cave, that they see those iron goals, that they could take it, it would be Reese. And so I kept thinking, like, he's got to have his black belt already done, and here I am chasing weird grinds.
It was in Marsh.
Yeah, there were 4 rock goals at the bottom of Marsh.
It
But
was the
yeah,
wizard tile.
but Reese had some unpleasantness happen to him in Ice Cave a few times, and he, at the point when he got the key item, he was just like, "I've got it. I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this."
Now, I picked up my key item pretty quickly and then just checked the rest of the trap tiles, found nothing, and warped out. What was the problem?
He went in at a much earlier point than you did, and so it was much lower level because you got that party grind from the Naga and Water pack in Hall of Giants, and he hadn't gotten to that point.
Did he not see that encounter, or just not at that point yet? He went to Ice first.
He went to Ice first. But he also didn't check that encounter.
Ever? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he unfortunately had a large amount of unpleasantness in Ice. But it looks like Reese has finished his grind at level 39 and is now on Murder Path.
And
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
man-moding. And Reese is man-moding Volcano.
Yeah, he also had a bit of an unfortunate couple of wipes in Sky. He did not check Onrak until after he did Sky, so he full cleared Sky the first time. So, and he ended up actually getting wiped out on, I want to say, Sky 1 on his way back down.
Okay, yeah, I never even checked Sky because I had everything I needed by then. What was he looking for?
He was looking for the key item, which ended up, or the incentive item, which ended up being the white shirt, which was in a chest right next to the
Oxyale or something.
Yeah, he was hoping for the Oxyale, but what he got was the white shirt. I mean, the other thing he got out of there was the defense sword.
Yeah, defense sword's good to have. And that's all the evasion, really. Defense sword and the white shirt, those two things together can make up for a lot of other mistakes. But the seed was pretty kind. I mean, it gave us a Mazmune +3. It gave us 2 shots of Fade on the black belt. Man, I saw that and I was sure I would lose. Like I said, Reese is a black belt guy. I came in here, I drafted the fighter, and I was thinking, I'm going to try and see if I can make this work with the fighter. But the seed was just, it was too black belty. There was nothing you could do. It's like you got Fade, you got well, even just the luck. My fighter kept getting killed, and I was like, something out there is trying to send me a message from the cosmos, you know?
The seed says the fighter stays dead.
Yeah.
And Reese has walked up to carry one and just punched her in the face. So yeah, I think he's probably just gonna go rummage his way through C, and well, he's got to get the loot still. But if I recall, that was just hiding at the ferry.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand. It's all a blur to me now. I think the slab was nothing. Yeah, ruby maybe. I reset out of that.
Yeah, the slab was the ruby, which was just an extra slap in the face because you'd only get that after you got the airship, and Sarda was the one who gave you the adamant, which I'm trying to remember the thread. I know that adamant led to something important, but yeah.
Yeah, there was that one that was a bit of a troll, and then the other one was I got I think it was the TNT in Ordeals, and I went up to check it, and it ended up being a bottle or something. So that was the kind of thing where, oh yeah, you can't do this one until you have the airship, which I didn't yet.
Yeah, now I remember it was adamant to key to bottle, and it was the TNT to herb to tail.
Yes,
that was a
key. That's all pretty useless stuff.
Yeah, except for the fact that the bottle has the loot.
Or right.
It was adamant. It was adamant to It was adamant to oxyale.
Oh, that's what it was. You're right. My bad. But Reese did pick up his theremin, which I have to say is one of my favorite instruments from the multi-instrumentalist Sarah set. But yeah, overall, I mean, this was a really well-run seed for your rock solid. This was you had pretty good execution, despite the fact that you have a couple of things that you glare or you look at as mistakes that I see, and I'm like, oh, crap happens.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, there was a huge, as always, there was a huge component of luck in there. One thing that almost signed my tombstone was against Chaos. I couldn't remember if I'd bought lock or not. I thought I did, but I started seeing that I wasn't hitting, and I started thinking, oh no. So you might have seen me flip open the grimoire and start looking for it. And I did have one charge bit on my black mage. If it hadn't been for that, I might have wiped again, and I don't know what effect that would have had on my tilt. Like, I might have just tried again. Well, no, I would have gotten lock, and then I would have probably tried again even without levels. But it's hard to say. Once you start wiping, it really messes with your mind a little bit.
Yeah, very much so, especially the way that it happened with Carry 2 taking the cue from Kraken 2, and then Kraken 2, continuing to do Kraken 2 things.
Yeah, exactly. I felt it didn't bother me too much because I knew it was just terrible luck, and somehow that made it feel better because I was like, well, that's not going to happen again. I'm not going to have Carry just open up killing my red mage right out of the gate, and then having Kraken open up killing my black belt right out of the gate, or whatever it was that happened. It was that kind of really, really bad luck of them both just nailing the wrong character.
Yeah, well, it was rando gonna rando, or
Exactly.
RNG gonna RNG at least.
And Kraken 2's going to do Kraken 2 things.
Yeah, and to be honest, I kind of did expect at least one wipe going in with the levels that I had. My black belt was mid 30s, so it didn't have its max level protection. I did have a ribbon for my red mage, which is why I tried it. I did have a Maz on my fighter, so I thought that because I had the Maz +3, because I had fast, I felt like I had enough offense, and because I had the ribbon, I felt like I had enough defense. But with it spread around your characters like that, bad luck can take its toll, and often does.
Yeah, you get your defenses spread a little bit too thin, and then all of a sudden it just falls apart. But yeah, it was curious to see the actually threw that Masa on the fighter as opposed to the red mage, because I expected you to let the fighter just get killed and maybe swing with the red mage.
Yeah, the red mage had spells that were too good for that, because the red mage had nuke, so basically that's the equivalent of a Masa +3 swing, I think, for him. And also he had some other utility stuff like Invis, which was pretty important against Chaos. And I think that's why I did it. I felt like the fighter would have a better chance. Also, if the worst happened and my black belt got knocked down, maybe I'd be able to fast up the fighter and finish up the job with the Mazimmune.
That's understandable. That's never hurts to have a backup strategy. And it looks like Reese has gotten his fourth orb lit and is on his way to Topher.
Let's see how Reese's Topher goes.
Given that he's got a level 40 black belt, he's probably going to be able to punch his way through most things here. And as opposed to using the heal potions, he's just using a bunch of cabins to heal up. It's a perfectly viable strat. And it looks like he's using all of them to try and get the heal potions that much closer. This is why I like auto sort. Because I'm also lazy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've never played without it, so, I mean, other than the original game. So I don't know what it would feel like, but I love it, auto sort.
Yeah, it's something that I've grown too used to. All right, and at 147 and 45, we have Reese entering his Topher for his first dive. And almost immediately getting attacked by some Frosties, because Topher gonna Topher.
Well, yeah.
And remembering, wait, my red mage is still naked. I should put that armor back on him.
And Chimera with Trance.
Yeah, which, he's run into a couple of times before, unfortunately. At least they didn't hit it this time. Nothing that's quite so bad as seeing a trance come out and put your 42 black belt into a paralyzed state.
Yep.
Also, rock solid. I have to give you props for validating the seed and getting those 2 chests in Topher.
Yeah, I thought chat would appreciate that, and it also occurred to me that there could be some good gear in there. It doesn't take that long to check because you don't have encounter tiles in there, so it's the sort of thing that is actually a semi-serious play.
Yeah, I suppose you could get something.
I personally haven't yet, but that's just my own personal experience. Oof. Yeah, Reese's punch machine is powered up pretty much and just making mincemeat out of those worms that attacked.
Yeah, this is what a black belt with level 1 fade should be doing in Topher. Mine was a little bit black belt light. This is how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, well, you did get it up to 32, and you got most of your, well, got your red mage up to that as well, because you did the party grind between the 2 of them, which is not something I'm used to seeing, honestly. I'm used to seeing most people kill off everyone else except for the black belt, and then just do the solo grind.
Yeah, the problem was, I think most of my levels, most of the ones that mattered, came from that Gurnaga water fight, so I didn't really have the choice. I kind of had to keep the red mage around for his sweepers, and that was kind of the story for the rest of it too. Like, I was finding single party grinds, but they always had nasty skills or something. So, like, I couldn't take the Staking Wings because of the glance, and I couldn't take the ones in ordeals because of the stone touch, and so I wasn't able to get into position to do that, knocking everybody except the black belt down. And then I felt like I was behind, and it was time to go.
It's a fair cop. And Reese gave Lich 1 a little bit of respect and used a nuke on it. Or Lich 2, a little bit of respect, which is a little surprising, but that's my own prejudice showing probably.
And Reese heading towards Kraken 2. Kraken 2. He is headed towards Kraken 2, but carry 2 first.
Kraken 2 light. We'll just call it that for this one.
Well, yeah, since carry 2 was doing Kraken 2 things.
Yeah, carry 2 went down a floor to study with Kraken for a little.
Little mentorship program?
Yeah, mentorship or dementorship, something like that. Ooh, coming out with a stop and actually landing it on that level 40 black belt. Not so good. Yeah, black belt shakes it off, and the black mage just keeps tossing out some microwaves. Red mage swings with that Masa, 4 hits 354, and carry 2 is mincemeat. Onto the water floor of things which are not appropriate to say on this channel.
Yeah, I didn't like these waters. They were hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, they were very, very heavy-hitting waters.
Yeah, water doesn't usually hit that hard. That kind of punch is usually reserved for at least something alcoholic.
Yeah, those are Bruce Lee waters.
They were breaks disguised as water. Putting the sacrificial black mage up front, that's not a bad idea. Nuke, nuke, and punch. $320 from the first nuke, $451 from the first set of punches, $396 from the second nuke, and down goes Kraken 2. For all the bluster, Kraken 2 is actually kind of soft, except for the parts where it hits you. and just immediately waltzed right on over to Tia 2. Didn't have to worry about running into anything there. Not even gonna bother defense sorting, just gonna punch. 6 hits for 492, nuke for 282, and down goes the Black Wizard, because Black Wizard was up front and meant to be punched. Punch comes out from the Black Mage, 6 hits, 228. Another nuke from the Red Mage, 262, and down goes Tia 2. At 153, 38-ish or so, time to move on to Chaos. After running it, Vampire Fan Club.
Here on the Chaos Comedy Tour 2021.
Because, of course, you can't get off the Tiamat floor without running into that final encounter.
Hey, the 13th, I got a question for you.
What's that?
How did the doctor know that the vampire had coronavirus?
No idea.
Because he was coughing.
I love it and hate it all at the same time, which makes it perfect. Alright, looks like Reese has rezzed up that Black Wizard to use as a for a further ablative meat shield and maybe get some spells out of it too. Got a nuke coming out from it, and another nuke from the Red Mage, and a defense sword. 191 from that first nuke. Dodgy dodge on the Black Mage, or on the Black Belt. 352 for the second nuke. Not too bad. Nuke and defense. Down goes the first Black Mage, or the Black Mage. First nuke comes out for 164 and another defense. Fade, because Red Mage is out of nuke charges. 230 and then 2 hits and muting on that that Red Wizard. So it's all down to the swings now. 6 hits for 346 and down goes the Red Wizard. Reese wisely applying that third stack from the defense sword. 5 hits, 239. It's fist versus fist right now. Oof, Chaos getting through the evasion and hitting for 302. Another 6 hits, 346. Chaos cannot hit her now. 3 hits for 306. 1 hit for 124. Dodgy Chaos is still dodgy. 5 hits for 300. Still can't hit that Black Mage unless you get lucky, Chaos. Black Belt. 4 hits, 233, and Chaos is down. Get your GGs out in chat for Reesewulf with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 55 seconds, and 59 minutes. And we are joined in the chat by Reese. So, good game, Reese. It was a...
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you loud and clear.
We can hear you.
Yeah, that seed was definitely something.
Yeah, that seed had it out for you a bit, it looked like. But
I had to use keyboard for like the last half of that race because I snapped my controller in half.
Oh.
I can understand that, given how...
I mean, it's an $8 controller I bought off of Amazon, so it's not like I don't have a spare, but I was so raging so hard that I just broke it.
Yeah, understandable. That was it did not treat you kindly, unfortunately.
Nothing in that seed treated me kindly. If I had found that grind earlier in the seed, I probably would have been fine because it wasn't that hard to take down with all of this magic charges.
Well, the other thing about that grind, which is a good thing you didn't run into, is the Wyverns had Glance as well.
No, they had Gaze.
They also had Glance, as that landed on...
Like, even in the mid-teens, I could have one-shot that Wyvern with the Masa.
That's a true point. But yeah, that was...
And they always lit off with mute, so you always have time to kill it.
Yeah, but that was overall, though, I have to applaud you for sticking it out through all of that. That was was unkind.
I wasn't expecting to win this match anyway. It's just didn't feel like I was doing well. Finding the floater as late as I did, I knew I was going to lose the match as soon as I found it.
That's understandable, but still. I still think you put in an admirable effort in getting through it, because honestly, if it were me, I probably would have gone, all right, well, hey, the dot done's landed, I'm out, screw this thing.
Yeah, probably me as well.
I was already 75% of the way through the grind. There was no point in conceding at that point. I had inevitability. None of the remaining fiends were going to stand in the way of a 40-something black belt. Although they stopped landing on a 41 black belt is a little rude.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was
And I wanted to go back into Sky for the ribbon for the red mage, but I didn't have any save items when I exited Sky, so I was like, nope, just gonna go.
Yeah, we noticed that. It was and that Sky,
That's
Sky and Ice both just were horribly rude to you, man.
well, the first I would have been fine the first time I went into to Ice if I had remembered that I had bought Warp. Because I went for the trap tile forgetting that I had Warp and I had charges for it. And then I was like, okay, let me just Warp trick this room. There's the item I can get out. But nope, I decided to take the trap tile and get wiped.
That would explain it.
And sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
I never even bought Exit. I could have bought it and I just never went back to Elflin.
That's fine. I
Because-
don't think Exit existed for Rock either.
If I had had Exit that first time I made it up to Sky 3 and found the defense sword, I would have exited out and saved. Because I had the life charge to raise the black mage in a house. I could have just saved and then gone back in. And I'd been fine because I gained a bunch of levels on the first round. And then it's just the way the dice roll.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah.
And filling my inventory failed me. I don't know why I bothered. It never works.
You know, you got to try things out, see if it works for you or not. In this case, it didn't work out for you, unfortunately.
Like, I don't mind Monster in a Box. I actually was one of the first people to adopt it and use it a lot. And then it's a fine feature. The issue is the high encounter rate combined with Monster in a Box, because the encounter rate in these flags is just too high for what it should be. It should never be this high. Like, I understand, you know, this is what the old tournaments have been, but it's just it's not fun to play or watch a high encounter rate match.
Yeah, we're at 0.7 and 0.8 on the encounter rates, which it's not as bad as vanilla was, but that's not saying much, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but vanilla, you could literally map every encounter in the game because you knew them all based on the step pattern.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't really count vanilla as a real comparison. But it was a good match. I honestly I was hoping I would have won. My plan originally was just pick the red mage and then see what Rock Solid picks, and then if he goes like double melee, I was just gonna throw in third melee in there and be like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Would have loved to have seen that, but that's also because I love watching chaos matches.
Yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
bit scared of something like that.
I considered leading off with a black belt, hoping that you would pick melee and then throw a fourth melee at us and just say, well, we're dealing with this dumpster fire.
I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna defer to me, and then take 2 black belts in your second and third slot, and then choose a red mage because
I like how I don't need the second and third pick to feel comfortable with counter pick, because you only really need one counter pick in this.
You have no idea how much I'm smiling at the thought of just having 4 melee thrown in a party.
I mean,
Well,
it
we
would
would've
be
had
the first
Fade.
race I've done with 4 melee. But
Yeah.
like, I felt so good. I got out of marsh, I followed the chain, ran up, did the TNT, did the crown, and then it was the tail, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
All this time getting bounced out of marsh to get a tail, I could have saved so much time.
Yep. But you know, hey, at least you got 15% bonus XP out of it. Trying to look on the bright side, trying.
So the thing about the bonus XP from key items is it literally doesn't matter at all. I've done these flags with 0 key item grinds and well, technically I guess 1 because you have the canoe, and I've done it with full key item grinds, and the amount of time it saves on the grind is not significant enough to actually make a difference.
yeah,
So
I'd agree with that.
everybody touts about how this bonus, you know, you get bonus experience from key items, but bonus experience really doesn't matter. It's maybe 1 encounter out of the entire length of your grind.
Yeah, it's an additional, or it's 1 less encounter needed out of 20 encounters per item.
And when you're taking passive XP anyway, which I was doing, it really doesn't make much difference. You know, I felt good. I got in Marsh and I found that the monster in a box, and I was like, oh, I'm level 11. Now maybe I'll run out. No, that wasn't gonna work. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the link chest and fight it again, and maybe I'll get out. And then I got bounced, and I'm like, well, I'm not fighting this trap tile or this trap chest a third time.
Especially not for only, I think it was like 300 or 400 gold.
It wasn't even about the gold. It was entirely I wanted the levels. Because it put me, like, when it was a 2-man, it put me at level 11, which is a really good place to be for the black belt early on.
Yeah, it bounced you up pretty high. I remember that one. And yeah, it was the biggest differentiator from what I saw, honestly, was Rock Solid checked the Hall of Giants and found it was Nagas and Waters.
I checked the Hall of Giants. I saw the Nagas and Waters, cast on it. It didn't die, and said nope.
Yeah, he used his Black Mage bit for that as well, which actually I think you did as well. I'm just, I have apparently memory hold things right now. Sorry about that.
But like, because that was the first thing I did when I got to Earth. I was like, okay, I cleared Sky, and I was like, well, I'm gonna clear the 2 other dungeons I know I can get through right now. I'm gonna check the free tile in Volcano, which turned out to be a good thing I did. And then hope that the seed has been as unkind to Rock Solid as it has been to me, but it obviously wasn't.
Yeah, I think that the taking the early experience from the Grey Nagas, and then the other thing was I didn't go to Ice first. I went to Ordeals, which led me to go to do the vendor and get the floater probably a lot faster, since I heard you, sounds like you had some trouble in Ice Cave.
Well, I went to Marsh, and then I was like, okay, I went to Crescent, went to Ice, struggled in Ice, left Ice, and then went and did Ordeals. Because I was like, I can just, if I find the floater, I'll just come back.
And that sounds like a natural way to route that, too.
Yep. Yeah, it's
But
you honestly didn't do anything wrong. It's just rando gonna rando, and it was.
I got to that point where I was like, okay, the floater it's like either this is gonna be a potentially floaterless seed where I could have completed everything without the floater, or floater's gonna be in sea. When it was close enough, it was in on rocks, so you know.
It was sea adjacent.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just run up to Underhill just in case.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured, and that was actually exactly what Rock Solid did. But with that, we have been eating up Randomania's time for a bit, so I think we should probably move on to last thoughts. Rock Solid, let's start with you.
Oh, just thanks, I guess, to you and DM for calling our race. I'm definitely gonna watch this back and see what I can learn from watching my own play and listening to people talk and chat as well. Thanks to chat for enjoying the show and saying those things that as newer runners, it's helpful to see that and to learn from it. So yeah, I'm really excited. I did not think that I would make it this far, and I certainly didn't think that I would be going on to the round of 16 to face Lord Fizzlebeef. So yeah, I got some practicing to do.
All right, good luck with that. Reese, let's toss it on over to you.
Like, I've had a lot of fun with the tournament. I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. I honestly didn't think I was going to make it out of pods, and mostly because I just don't have the time to practice. I literally got off of work at 4 a.m. this morning and drove 7 hours home, slept, and then woke up just before this race because I didn't have any other thing I could do.
Week Christmas. I'm glad I don't have that kind of a commute.
Well, I literally work all over the southeastern U.S., so I never know where I'm going to be, and I spend more time in a hotel than actually in my own bed, and it sucks.
Yeah, you have my sympathies on that one.
Yeah.
Stuart, what's your last thoughts?
This was a very interesting. It was a very interesting seed to watch the Monster in a Box. This was the first time I've really gotten into seeing Monster in a Box, and it was a lot of fun. I would have been nice to see the Monster in a Box holding some actual decent items instead of just garbage. But
That's just the nature of Monster in a Box. Because they removed the ability for it to gate key items, it's pretty much never going to have anything good.
And I mean, Kraken 2 gonna Kraken 2, and sometimes Carry 2 gonna Kraken 2 as well.
I didn't really feel threatened by anything in that Topher except Chaos.
That's a fair point there. All right. Well, last thing I'm going to say here then is thanks to Randomania for letting us bogart their channel for a couple of hours, and thanks to our runners for putting on an interesting show and entertaining run. Thanks to Chanigan for doing the restreaming and the tracking of it. Thanks to Stuart as well for, well, keeping me company in the comms booth. So I have been Hate13.
I have been DM Stewart 1981.
And, well, thank you all for watching us tonight, and have a pleasant evening / morning / day, whatever time it is for you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.